I first came to South Africa to set up an airline for Richard Branson. It's a task that normally takes an entire team of people 2 years to do, to get an airline off the ground from scratch. In this case, there was 2 of us, and we had less than 6 months. This is situation normal at Virgin. Richard's philosophy is if you're presented with an opportunity and you're not sure how to do it, just do it anyway, say yes anyway, and figure it out as you go along. That's how I love to work. I was your classic Mars. I walked everywhere like this. I was addicted to being busy. I was addicted to adventure, and anything less than 150% effort simply wasn't good enough. I defined myself by the title on my business card, being smart, being savvy, and getting good results. Failure, not an option. So it wasn't unusual to find me arriving early, leaving late, pulling all-nighters, working weekends just so that I could stay ahead of my game. In fact, I was such a high achiever and such a fit with the culture that when Virgin put performance management into place, they molded their competencies around me. Now, I thought that I could just keep going and keep going and keep going. I thought I was literally bulletproof. I flew around the world in first class, and I had Richard Branson's mobile phone number on speed dial. But all of that came crashing down when one day I had a complete meltdown in front of Richard and hundreds of high-profile guests at a launch event in Cape Town. Now, I recognized the early warning signs of burnout long before I hit the wall, but I ignored them. I figured when you're in a high-profile role for a brand like Virgin and your hard-earned reputation is at stake, the last thing you do is burn out. So I pushed myself to the end, surviving on sleeping pills and caffeine. I wonder how many of you can relate to that. That was a mistake that damn near killed me. Few people realize that full-scale burnout, the other end of the scale, can actually result in death. From heart failure, stroke, and sadly even suicide. The Japanese have a word for it, karoshi, death from stress and overwork. And ladies and gentlemen, in our 24/7 always-on culture, burnout is a really big deal. In a recent survey, 72% of executives said that they were burnt out or exhausted by the work that they did or the environment that they worked in. And the cost of burnout in the States alone is $190 billion a year, and that's a conservative estimate. Corporate life today should actually carry a health warning. I'd seen the dark side of being a high achiever. I'd push myself to the edge. Like the mythical character Icarus, I was flying high on my wings made of feathers and wax. I ignored the warnings, I flew too close to the sun, my wings melted, and I crashed and burned on a spectacular scale. The difference is, I got up again. A lot of people don't. I learned many lessons from that experience. I learned about failure, I learned about humility, and I learned that sometimes you have to fall lower than you have ever been so that you can fly higher than you ever imagined. Being a high achiever is really rewarding. But striving and driving and pushing ourselves to the point of burnout, exhaustion, and physical collapse is not the way to get there, and it's not the way to stay there. There is another way. One that can actually mean that we fly higher than we were before, better, stronger, faster, more productive, and we don't have to kill ourselves in the process. What I speak about today is performing under pressure in a disruptive world. I share stories from the trenches of life with Branson and the Virgin Empire, backed up by 15 years of experience and research in human and organizational performance, neuroscience, and functional medicine. I talk about the lessons that I learned to not only avoid burnout, but to actually be a more authentic and inspiring leader. I made the mistakes so that your people don't have to. My story is not a story of survival. It's a story of the practical reality of life in our modern corporate society. My story could be your story. My story could be the story of the people in your organization. I've been where many people are today. I've pushed myself over the edge. I brought myself back again. So I'm excited to inspire your audiences to not only thrive in 2018, but to make 2018 your best performance year yet. I'm Caroline Ravenall. Thank you very much.